In this video, I'm going to be reviewing SiteGround's WordPress hosting. A lot of the affiliates say yes, they're really good, and they are really good, but I'm not going to sugarcoat that they have two main issues, and those are the renewal prices, which are really high, so you can get up to 3 years of this promotional price, but after that it jumps to these higher prices. As well as they do have strict CPU limits, so if you exceed your resource limits, they're actually going to send you warnings and potentially shut down your website. That's why when you choose a plan, it's always best to choose one with more server resources if you know your website is going to require more plugins, or it's going to get more traffic, or consume more server resources. And there's a lot of things you can do to prevent that, like Cloudflare CDN, a cache plugin, and etc. But those are two main cons of SiteGround, and those are really the only cons I can come up with, to be honest. Other than that, they're a great host for shared hosting. I've been using them for at least 5 years now, and they were rated #1 in a ton of Facebook polls. So you usually see SiteGround and Cloudways are usually the top two in Facebook polls. And SiteGround is shared hosting, while Cloudways is managed cloud hosting. And if you're coming from EIG, like Bluehost or HostGator, or even A2 or GoDaddy, you're going to see a good load time improvement just by migrating to SiteGround. They're worlds better than Bluehost, HostGator, GoDaddy, or any of those lower quality hosts. So, part of that is because they have really good speed technology. They use solid-state drives, Nginx servers, Super Cacher, their SG Optimizer plugin uses server-side caching, which is faster than the file-based caching used by cache plugins. That's why, if you can, I would use SG Optimizer. They also have built-in Cloudflare CDN, which is free. All you have to do is go to your cPanel and activate it in one click. As well as HTTP2 servers and PHP 7.3 as of today. They also have really good Trustpilot reviews. Recommended by WordPress, and Yoast uses them. I'm sure they use a dedicated server, but they still use SiteGround. Part of that is because their support and security and uptimes are all really good. So if you do your research in these Facebook groups or on Twitter, a lot of people, especially the support part, SiteGround support is pretty much unmatched. You can get a hold of live chat in like 15 seconds or your ticket answered in 15 minutes. And if you look at their Facebook page, they always post ongoing updates that makes your website load faster, or something to do with security or uptimes, but they keep up to date with new technology. And that is something that a lot of companies don't do, especially like GoDaddy. They only released PHP 7 in 2018, when SiteGround was one of the first hosts to release PHP 7. They're also recommended by Ivica from the WordPress Speed Up Facebook group. He recommends SiteGround and Cloudways. So, I had a 100% GT metrics report on SiteGround, and this is in February 2019. So yes, it is possible. You will need to use a cache plugin, optimize images, and take care of the other optimizations, but hosting is the #1 factor of your load time. So you can fix items in GT metrics all you want, but your server is the thing that will affect your load time the most. So yes, it is possible with SiteGround. So I actually migrated to Cloudways because my traffic outgrew SiteGround's GoGeek plan, and I was getting CPU overages. I upgraded to their cloud hosting for $80 a month, and it was still getting CPU overages. And I finally was paying like $140 for an upgraded version of their cloud hosting, and it was just getting way too expensive, which is why I eventually migrated to Cloudways. So SiteGround is great for shared hosting, especially those 3 years of the promotional price. But after that, you may want to look into Cloudways, which starts at $10 a month. Their DigitalOcean plan is really good. But that is what I use now, and the main difference I saw is my tutorials have like 418 comments and tons of images. But yet, if you run through GTmetrix, it has a 1.9 second load time on Cloudways. 172 requests, 5.86 megabytes, and it still loads in 1.9 seconds. So that was the main difference I saw between SiteGround and Cloudways. Yes, my homepage didn't have a lot of content, and it still loaded fast on SiteGround, but my tutorials that were really long and beefed up took way less time to load on Cloudways because, again, they are managed cloud hosting. So if you're using SiteGround, their SG Optimizer, like I said, they've made big improvements to this. They started adding minification or image optimization, lazy loading gravitars. I definitely recommend looking into SG Optimizer. There's pros and cons to both. So SG Optimizer uses server-side caching, which is faster than file-based caching used by cache plugins. The downside is that it doesn't come with as many features as WP Rocket. So you have a couple options. You can either use one or the other, and I recommend testing them out to see how they affect your load time. Or you can use WP Rocket, but then they have a plugin for disabling WP Rocket's cache, and then install the SG Optimizer and only use that for caching. So you get the server-side caching, which is better with SG Optimizer, and that's all you're using it for. But then you're letting WP Rocket handle all the other optimizations because it comes with a lot more features than SG Optimizer. So if you take a look at SiteGround's plans, I'm not going to go over these because you can look at these yourself, and I know every review just covers all their features and it's kind of boring. The main difference in their plans is that Grow Big is you can host unlimited websites. It comes with more storage and a few other features. But the main thing you want to look at is the server resources. So as you upgrade plans, you get more resources, which makes your website load faster. If you're running a WooCommerce site or you have a decently high traffic website, I would never use the startup plan. And generally I would just stay away from that because for $2 a month more for the promotional price, Grow Big is definitely worth it. You get more server resources, more storage, host unlimited websites, and you get a few extra features. SiteGround does come up with a free Let's Encrypt SSL, they have daily backups, auto updates, a lot of good features that you can see on this page, and I'll leave a link to this in the video description. Staging is also super helpful. So this comes with their Grow Big plan, and if you want to create a clone of your website to test like new designs or plugins before launching them on your actual website, that's what staging does. It's super helpful. So they have a lot of good features that are, when you look at other shared hosting, they usually don't have all these features. So like I said, SiteGround is really good for shared hosting, and they will migrate your website for free with the Grow Big plan and up. But like I said, I use Cloudways, their DigitalOcean plan, just because I outgrew their SiteGround's GoGeek plan, and I was getting CPU overages, and it was becoming a little expensive. So once you get to that point, then I definitely recommend checking out Cloudways. SiteGround's cloud hosting is really expensive for what it is. Just to give you an idea, for their entry-level price on their cloud hosting, you can get the same thing at Cloudways for $42 a month. 2 CPU and 4 gigabytes of memory on their DigitalOcean plan. So this is what happened when I migrated from SiteGround cloud hosting to Cloudways. My time spent downloading a page pretty much dropped in half, and like I said, those longer tutorials took way less time to load. I think they were taking about 9 seconds on SiteGround, and with Cloudways I can get anywhere up to like 1.5 seconds for those really long tutorials. There is a huge difference in SiteGround shared hosting and Cloudways managed cloud hosting. It's just faster. So the only issue I have with Cloudways is that their support isn't as good as SiteGround, but for pure speed it is way better. And they were also rated #1 in a lot of recent Facebook polls. Just do me a favor and avoid EIG companies. The same company owns over 83 different hosting companies like Bluehost, HostGator, Site5, iPage, and they're generally known for packing way too many people on the same server. So if you're with EIG, any of these companies right here, I recommend staying away from them. And GoDaddy also has malware issues. I would stay away from them too. They're rated one of the top malware hosting networks in the world. So if you choose SiteGround, I recommend doing a few things. First of all, in your cPanel, you can activate Cloudflare in one click. All you have to do is go here and literally press activate. I think I already did it, but that's where you would do it. The second thing I would do is make sure you're running a recent PHP version. So you can go to the PHP version manager right here and go to your folder and make sure you're running, you can try managed PHP 7.1, but they also have up to PHP 7.3.7. So that will make your website load way faster, especially if you're currently on PHP 5.6. You can use a plugin like Query Monitor or Display PHP version to see which version you're running, but SiteGround is always up to date with the latest PHP versions, and for shared hosting, they are really fast. So again, all these people who migrated to SiteGround, there's a reason. You can listen to affiliates all you want, but there's a lot of evidence that SiteGround is much faster than GoDaddy or EIG or any of them. And I would pick them ahead of any of those other companies. For most websites, I would always sign up for 3 years to get this promotional price because it is the best shared hosting you're going to find for that price. Just be aware that after your initial promotional period, the price is going to jump. Depending on how much website traffic you have or plugins you're running, or whether your website's slow, have a slow server response time, Google PageSpeed Insights. If it's still kind of slow, I would recommend looking into Cloudways and their managed cloud hosting because it is much faster than shared. But those are the two companies that are rated very highly in Facebook polls. So they're both great options. It really just depends on your needs and your budget. I hope this video was helpful. I have links to SiteGround and Cloudways in the video description. If you wouldn't mind using them, they are affiliate links and they would help me make these videos, but I would really appreciate it. Otherwise, you have yourself a good day.